Hello everyone, welcome back to another video here on Play on GAA. Today myself and Luke are going to be doing a football preview of the Division 3 League campaign for 2022. Luke, there's some new stories in here, new beginnings. Obviously Billy Sheehan is the new Laois manager. Obviously you've got Antrim and Louth in there, two new movements there. Mickey Hart, obviously the Louth manager, getting promotion in his first season, and the McGinley doing the same. And Antrim, there's a good wave of momentum there with him. Obviously, new starts as well for Fermanagh, for Longford, and for Wicklow as well, of course, who lost Davy Burke. Then, there's solid teams making solid progress. Billy Lee, of course, his Limerick team making serious progress under him. And of course, Jack Cooney seems to run a pretty shrewd operation there with Westmeath. So Division 3, it's looking tight. I mean, the quality in Division 3 isn't looking quite as strong as it has in previous seasons. Of course, you've had teams like Cork there, and you've had provincial champions there over the last few years. It's not looking as strong on paper as it has before, but this division, as last year showed, is very, very capable of throwing up some serious shocks. Of course, last season, two provincial champions were relegated from this division. So I'd never know what to expect from this division. And again, this year, as I mentioned, the gap between these sides is non-existent. So I don't really know what to expect from Division 3 this year.
Yeah, I completely agree, and that I think it's weird. I do think that looking at this, like in the same kind of scenario for Division 3, that I do think that nearly any of the eight are kind of capable of getting that promotion. So yeah, like it's a very, very hard one to call, and I suppose a lot of my predictions, will be based off preseason so far and how teams have performed, and that's probably why I'd be leaning. I think as towards Laois as my favourites. I think my early favourites for this. I think they really put up the dubs in the O'Byrne Cup final and beat Kildare along the way, who are now up playing at the top. So I do think I'll be going with Laois as my early favourites. But look, it's very, very hard to call beyond that.
Yeah, I completely get why you're leaning towards Laois. Me personally, I'm leaning towards Limerick. I just really like the way Billy Lee has them set up. I mean, they've put in good performances in the championship. I know they started the McGrath Cup off poorly. They got battered by Kerry in the first game, but I mean, this is a Kerry team that's been battering everyone, so it's not really a black mark against them to lose like that to Kerry. I mean, they've got Ian Corbett in there. They've got some superb footballers. I mean, Hugh Burke is a player that I really like in the forwards for Limerick. He's been, catching on. And then, of course, they got Danny Neville up there as well, who's another very, very exciting forward. There's too many teams that are unpredictable in this division that it's very, very hard to call. I think Antrim are a bit of a wild card, to be honest. I mean, they've got a really, really good wave of momentum behind them. McGinley, of course, is putting a lot together in that Antrim side. And as the two lads who are on from the Saffron Voice, they're on with me previewing, of course, Antrim season. They were saying the confidence that McGinley has brought to this Antrim side is unrecognisable from Antrim teams in years gone by. And I actually think that with McGinley bringing that confidence, I would say it's between Antrim and Laois for me as to who is going to go up with Limerick. And to be honest, out of those three, I wouldn't be surprised if any of those three finished top.
Yeah, well, look, I think that's a very, very fair point. I think that I think for me, if I was looking at the teams, I think I would be looking at as my favourites for promotion. I've already said Laois, I think will finish top, but I think I might go for Fermanagh as my favourites to finish second. I think they're a kind of battle hardened team. They're proven. They've played Division 2. They've competed to try and get up to Division 1 before. So look, I just think that they've got the experience, and their players are well aware of what it takes to get promoted to Division 2. So I think that experience will show, and I'd go with them as my first to finish second.
Yeah, I do think they're definitely another good show as well. The only reason why I kind of steered a little bit off Fermanagh is obviously the news of Owen Donnelly's retirement there today. I mean, the Fermanagh captain, and he has been the Fermanagh captain since 2014. That's a massive blow for Fermanagh that he's retired.
Yeah, look, absolutely. And the thing is, it is kind of a bit of an older team, and that you look at the Quigley up in the full forward line, and at Everton, these players aren't getting any younger. And that run that they had in recent years, when they pushed the Dubs pretty close in All-Ireland quarter final before, look, that team is getting older, but I still think they just have enough experience. And based off kind of the Division 3 this year, where I'm not entirely sure if the talent's the highest that it's been in this division in recent years, I think they should have just about enough, in my opinion, I think, to get back up.
Yeah, I agree. I think that they should have the talent definitely to compete But I think my two, I'm going to go with Limerick and Laois as my two to get promoted. And then my two to get relegated, I think Wicklow are the first county that I look at as being definitely vulnerable to relegation this time, because obviously Davy Burke was running a very, very shrewd operation there in Wicklow, kept them up in Division 3. He got them there in the first place, but then he left after the championship defeat to Wexford. Kind of left on a bad note. Wicklow, a little bit in disarray potentially. They need to steady the ship really quickly now, or else I think they're in serious danger of being relegated. They're the one team that I would kind of tip as, my favourites to be relegated. Alongside them, I think it's definitely hard. I think Longford have been in Division 3 for a long time. I think they're kind of stuck in that division. They're like too good for Division 4, but not quite good enough for Division 2. I think they could be at risk of being relegated to Division 4. I think, to be honest, it's between Longford and Louth as to who goes down with Wicklow. I think Westmeath are too solid. I think the Heslin and Kieran Martin and Jerry Egan, I think on their own they'll keep Westmeath up. But yeah, for me it's between Longford and Louth as to who goes down with Wicklow.
Yeah, look, I completely agree with Westmeath. I think that they will probably be in the upper half of the table and look pushing for promotion. I'd completely agree as well that Wicklow, I think, are my team to finish 8th. And then, seventh look is really hard to call. I think you're right that Louth will be in contention there. And yeah, I think it'll be between Louth, Antrim, and I wouldn't rule out Limerick kind of in that spot as well. So I think it's going to be between those four. But look, I think if any of these teams kind of start slow, I think they're in serious risk of going down, because like it's very, very hard to call, very even division as well. So I think that I think it's very, very difficult to call. But I think if pushed, I'd probably go Wicklow and Louth maybe as my teams that might go back down.
Yeah, well, this division definitely is the tightest. I mean, in terms of the ability of the 8 counties, I mean, it's very, very hard to call who is going to finish top and who is going to finish bottom. But it'll be interesting to see how it plays out, no doubt. Guys, that is Play On GAA's preview of the Division 3 Football League campaign for 2022. Don't forget to look at all of other previews of the league action for the season. Until the next video, guys, take care.